Hello Stampers, and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today I wanted to showcase the Inside the Lines Designer Series paper from the Sale-A-Bration brochure. This is one of the items that you can pick for free whenever you spend $50, and that's every $50 you get to pick a free item. So how fabulous is that? Now is a wonderful time to get those occasions mini catalog items, to stock up on cardstock and adhesive and all those necessary things that are on that you need for projects, but all those items that are on your wish list as well. So I know in the catalog there's only like a little corner of the designer paper, so I wanted to show the big sheets of the paper. So here is this fabulous one, which I love because of that focal point and how it just kind of swirls out. I almost wish I could color the whole thing and then like frame it. I think it would be absolutely gorgeous. But coloring the whole thing makes me a little nervous because there's a lot of coloring there. Then there's this one here, which is that fabulous sort of jungle look. And again, it has lots of details and there's lots of coloring to this one as well. Then this one is probably one of my favorites because it has those nice big flowers that you can color, and then of course the little dragonflies. And then the last one, I actually don't have a full piece anymore because it's the one that I've been using the most, and that is this one here. So you'll notice that this one is the poppies with the little bumblebees. Again, flowers, which I super love. So you can still see the pattern as there's just lots of poppies all over, and that's the one that I used for this one. So if you're like me and you feel a little intimidated by all of that coloring and that giant pattern and, you know, all of that, then have no fear. Still take a second look at this paper because it is super fun, and you can always do very minimal coloring like I did on these two cards. So let me show you how I did that. Okay, so here we have these two simple cards that use some of that designer paper, but I only did a little bit of coloring. For this one here, I actually used a 2 3/4 by 3.5 square of the designer paper, and then I cut 1 inch from the left, and then I cut these in half at 1 3/4 inch. So then I just colored one of those squares and then sort of puzzle pieced them together. For this one, I actually cut all of the designer paper into 1.5 inch squares, which is super handy because then you can use up all of the designer paper because that's divisible by 12, which is super fabulous because there's the 1.5 by 1.5 is 3, and then 3 of course is divisible by 12. I'm not a math major, but I did get that down. So every once in a while I nail it like that. So I'm going to show you how I did this one. First, I have all 4 of my little 1.5 inch squares, and those I have here. And then I used the corner rounder punch just to punch 2 of the corners. So they're opposing corners. So I'm just going to slide it in until it lines up with both of those edges and punch. Can probably do these last 2 together. So now we have all of our pieces, and I used the fabulous watercolor pencils and the Melon Mambo, but you could always go with any color scheme that you wish. And I just colored in a few of the flowers. They don't always have to be the main flowers. They could be, you know, a little small little accent flower, or it could be the biggest flower that's in there. That's all up to you, and you can color them dark or light, or you can color them even in multiple colors. You don't have to stick with just one color scheme. You could also color those giant leaves, which are super fabulous. This one I think I'm going to go with one of the bigger flowers. But you can just kind of color each of those pieces, and if you want, you can color them in completely with the colored pencils, but you can also play with your blender pen too. And so like this one, I just kind of colored like randomly on the inside, and then I'm going to take my blender pen and kind of smush and swirl and move that ink around to fill out that flower completely with all of that color. I also went back through on this one and added a few little Daffodil Delight dots to the middle of some of the flowers. So you can always do that if you wish to add just a little pop of another color. So I won't color all of those because you guys all know how to color and everything, but I then just did all of the points, which you could go either way. You could either do all the points to the outside where it's nice and rounded here, and then there's all the rounded pieces there. Or you could do this way where all the points go to the center and it almost creates like a little flower. You almost want to put like a little enamel shape right in the middle of that because it looks like a little flower. So you could do it either way. I layered those onto a piece of Old Olive, and this measures 3.5 by 3.5. And then I placed that on a Whisper White rectangle measuring 3 3/4 by 5, and I added the little greeting down there below. That greeting is actually from the Designer Tea stamp set, which is this one here. This is another one of those fabulous celebration items that you can get for free. There's lots of great greetings on there for lots of occasions, but it also coordinates really well with the Designer Tea bundle that's in the Occasions mini catalog. So I'll leave links down below for those. So next time you see this designer paper, don't let it intimidate you, and don't let it scare you that you don't want it, because you can always color little bits and pieces and get that fabulous look with just a little bit of coloring on your project. You could also do it all in black and white and just leave it alone, and that would look fabulous too. So the next time you order $50 before the end of March, check out the Inside the Lines Designer Series paper and have some fun with it, whether you're a colorer or whether you want to use it as black and white. I'll be posting more pictures of these on my blog, laurastamppad.com. I'll also be leaving a link down below for all of the celebration items that you can check out so that you can pick out your favorite for every $50 that you spend. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe if you're new, as I post every Tuesday and Thursday. And check out some of my other videos down below. I'll leave a link down there. Until next time, happy stamping. Bye-bye.